You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to yet another TADPOG podcast. This is a show that happens weekly. I don't know what I'm doing or know where I'm going with it, really. But
no, you're doing good. So far, you're good.
Okay.
Up until that exact moment, you were doing great.
Yeah. That's me.
Actually, I think that is part of the new intro. I think like you get to that point and then you're like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like that is just part of the new intro. Like
right.
that is like
I'm doing a thing and I don't know where it's going, so I'm just gonna stop.
It's just a thing. If we go back like the last 6 episodes, it probably is exactly that.
Starting with the Dracula voice in Castlevania.
Right. And threw everything off.
TADPOG podcast where two old guys with two other old guys play old games. We're still playing alphabetically through the Nintendo Super Nintendo, Nintendo, the NES Classic. Yeah. There you go, as gifted to us by Treasure Goblin Master Mold Mike Lanham. And today we dug deep to find two foremost final phonologists.
Final phonologists.
Yes.
I like that. I like the term.
One half of TADPOG Sweethearts, Josh Nance.
Hello.
Hey, Josh.
And the other half of Hobson Heroes Sweethearts, Barbecue Baron Drew Rowland.
What's up, Drew?
Hi, everybody. Hey.
We thought it was fitting to have 4 people on this episode to represent, each person representing one warrior of light.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So that is that is 100% why we have 4 people on here. It was not coincidence at all.
Mm-mm. What are each of us? What class?
I will let someone else go first, even though I spoke.
Red Mage.
You go.
That's like a great idea. Go ahead.
Yes, please. Anybody? I had to say Red Mage for me because
I was actually going to say Red Mage for me too, but
I feel like I'm a generalist.
Andrew
And we're all red. We're all red.
So I'm going to say White Mage. we're a really shitty party.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a generalist, so I feel like that. I feel like most people in 2017 are generalists, except for the very successful ones. I feel like those are the warriors of the world.
Yep.
Jack of
like,
all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the warriors are like, well, I got one thing I do, and that's swinging the sword.
The warriors and the monks still in the show, man.
Yeah, I know. Also, Red Mage, I feel like I was very good in the early game, and now in the late game, not really comparing so great to the rest of the classes. I can't learn nuke.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you cap out at like level 4 magic.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't learn fade. My armor is really great in the beginning of the game.
And so then your weapons.
Now, not so much.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
Red Mage is just a metaphor for aging, I think.
Before we delve too deep into the Final Fantasy, because we're ready to get started. We're ready to talk about the
No, I really
minutia of
am.
Final
I'm super
Fantasy.
ready.
I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I've got an intro story because I feel like we need intro stories, but then we'll dive right into all the fantasy. But first, okay. So the other day, I'm in the car with all the girls, and
all of them.
all of them.
Every girl.
It was a clown car
All of
of all
It
the
was a
girls.
Noah's Ark of all the women with wheels.
Did you know that every girl is my girlfriend?
I've thought about that video in a while.
I'll have a link to that video in the show
One of
notes.
Shawn Miller's favorite videos.
If I can find it. Very insensitive.
Oh, extremely. Extremely. But we're all in the van. I forget where we're going. I think it was Brainy Jr.'s was doing Chicago. Her debut in Chicago was that night. And I hear Minecraft AJ goes, "Hey, that kid we hate got arrested for drugs." And Brainy Jr. and Choco Chica turn around. "Who are you talking about?" And she says his name. They both just groan. I'm like, well, what's so awful about this kid? Oh, he's in like 8th grade and he's got a mustache. He's a horrible pervert and blah, 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 blah. And Choco Chica goes, yeah, he tried to make me say a bad word. And we all just kind of sat there. Poor Melissa's like, well, what did he try to make you say then? And we get to like Dairy Queen. We're all getting out of the car, and like my mom's there, and like their grandparents are there. Like we're all like, what did he say? I don't want to say. You can say it right. It's okay this one time because I'm asking you what he said. What did he say?
I'm nervous about what you're gonna say.
I don't want to say what it is. Okay, well, what did it start with? It was the C word. So we all just
There's a couple.
C word.
There are a couple.
Like, what's the... Okay, so we all look like, is it a boy or a girl C word?
Right.
And she's like, I don't know. Okay. What's the second letter of the word? she's like, I think it's an O, but I don't think it's a boy.
Or you.
So, yeah, so I was like... Because she's like, it's C...
If you were to put a word after this word, what would it be?
Could you point to this word on a Chinese calendar?
Does she? Because it's like, okay, well, what's the third letter? She's like, N. So then we all
All right,
just look
there
at
you
each
go.
other. All right,
Now you
C-O.
know.
Is it? Does she not know how to spell it? So I get to turn to my mom and like, does she think it's Kant? Is she calling somebody a Kant? So it turns out like Melissa drags it out of her, and it turns out it's condom.
Oh,
It's a C word.
condom. So close.
So close. So like he tried to get her to say it, like he had one. He was showing it to her, and she was like, "Oh no." So yeah, that's my intro story. Choco Chico's maybe saying "cunt." We don't know. We didn't know for a while. But I was gonna say "cunt" to my mom, and that's kind of funny.
Did she slap you?
No, she laughed. Oh, she was crying. She was laughing so hard. It's just atypical for my mother.
But then when she heard condom, she freaked out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what those are for.
Fornicating. What's up?
That's all I got. If we want to get into Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm ready. I feel like this is going to be.
All the condom talks got Dave ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to do this.
all right, Dave, you hear that?
I do hear that. That sounds like a whole bunch of messy, wet condoms just rolling around in a boxcar connected to the creepiest train that's conducted by an 8th grader with a mustache, which of course ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys, Final Fantasy is a little-known fantasy role-playing video game. You might have heard of it. I don't know. Maybe. It's a little indie jam. Developed and published by Square in 1987. It is the first game in Square's Final Fantasy series created by Hironobu Sakaguchi. It originally released for the NES, Final Fantasy was remade for several video game consoles. I feel like Wikipedia might actually be wrong in that. I find it really difficult to believe it was originally developed for the NES. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was originally developed for the Famicom, because I know that we didn't get Final Fantasy. We didn't get this game in North America until 1990. It originally came out in 87 in Japan. So I'm going to write Wikipedia a really pointed and really pointed
As you
letter,
should.
but polite, and get my point across. You know what? Actually, doesn't matter. When net neutrality is repealed, we're all going to have to pay like $100 a month for Wikipedia. So I mean, no one's going to use it then.
Wow, Tadpog's gotten preachy since I was on it last.
It needs to be because net neutrality. It's serious. It's serious business. Contact your representatives, please, or we're all going to be paying $100 for a podcast episode.
You put the I've seen the email addresses of those 5 people pop up at least every day for the last week
Yeah.
on Reddit, so you can link those, I guess.
I will do this.
I like to imagine that Tadpog Nation is the tide turner. That was the little
It totally
nudge.
is.
that
It's
it
like,
needed, yeah.
well, we needed the Tadpog.
Adjit Pie's he's a huge fan. And
right.
now he's just like,
Oh.
you know what?
I've offended Tadpog.
I didn't know I do that. Fucking hate that guy.
He's much like you could say he's a fiend. You could say he's a fiend.
Yeah.
There are 4 fiends in Final Fantasy, this game that we're
Nice
going to be
segue.
talking about. The story actually follows 4 youths, or Utes,
Four
Utes.
yeah, it follows the 4 youths.
4 Utes.
They go along the land.
That's actually a deep My Cousin Vinny cut.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Drew knows what I'm on.
Oh, yeah. That's a fantastic movie.
Let me tell you, we could turn this around and do if you want to do like a whole like podcast miniseries on My Cousin Vinny, I'm down, Drew. You just let me know.
It was filmed about 20 minutes from where I live. So,
No shit.
yeah, I know some things about, yeah.
So you're the perfect guest. You're the perfect guest. All right, fuck it. I say we just do a My Cousin Vinny podcast instead. Everybody on board?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
All right.
I've seen like half of it.
Let me pull. That's perfect. That's all you need. Well, let me pull up the My Cousin Vinny Wikipedia page, and we'll start over.
Oh, wait, do you hear that?
Yeah. Do you hear that that train full of screeching owls while Vinny is trying to sleep?
Do you hear the shocked crowd of Marissa Tomei winning an Oscar?
The story of My Cousin Vinny and Final Fantasy actually follows
My Cousin Vinny, the game.
My Cousin Vinny, yes, the adaptation for the NES. My Cousin Vinny, the RPG.
I feel like I've seen
Yeah,
that
take it.
somewhere.
I probably have.
Like a turn-based 8-bit RPG.
I would love for them to do. I would love for like Capcom to be like, you know what? For the next Phoenix Wright game, we're gonna have Vinny. He's the new attorney.
Man, it'd be fucking good to have him be the opposing counsel.
You. God, what attorney name did he use? James Gallo.
Yeah, Jerry Gallo.
Jerry
and then
Gallo.
Man, that also
Yeah,
works for Phoenix Wright, though.
I know, right? It ties right into that. Like, I know.
And then he changes it to Callow when they search the first name.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's
You search for Gallo. See, Drew, this is all off to a great start.
Yeah.
Like My Cousin Vinny, the story of Final Fantasy follows 4 Utes called the Light Warriors, who each carry one of their world's 4 elemental orbs. This Wikipedia article is layering on lore that I did not know. I did not know they were from different worlds. The Warriors of Light.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Must be the remix. They each carry one of their world's 4 elemental orbs, which have been darkened by the 4 elemental fiends. Together, they quest to defeat these evil forces, restore light to the orbs, and save their world. There we go.
Yep. When did you first play this game? What was your first experience with it?
I got it. I don't know if I got it when it first released or within like the first year of it being released. But Final Fantasy, I believe, is like the first RPG I played. It's that or Dragon Warrior. I can't remember which one
Yeah, same for me.
I played first. Yeah.
This is the first RPG. I remember playing it because Tyler, you let me borrow it
Yep.
in 6th grade.
Yeah.
We were sitting next to each other. I remember taking it home for the weekend, and I got stuck, and I would write you notes explaining in class. I'd write you notes explaining where I was and what I needed to do.
A broom is telling me question mark.
It was
I can't say it backwards.
I needed to find the mystic key, and I couldn't find the marsh cave. I just didn't explore enough.
Well,
but, yeah,
The hole in the ground.
yeah, exactly.
The thing that actually probably looks the most like a real world cave, but I don't associate a hole in the ground with a cave.
Nope.
I expect like stone archway.
Or like a crack in the mountains like Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, exactly.
Something in the mountain, not in the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
You said a cave, not a marsh hole.
Because I'm not sure if I played this first or another Final Fantasy. Like, I feel like I played Final Fantasy IV or something like that first, which then led me to this. I remember when I saw this at, like, Toys R Us, like, holy shit, Final Fantasy. And I had just gotten, because I got an NES for, like, a week before my dad took it back. We got a Super Nintendo. Then I was on the
Right.
Super Nintendo train. But my dad's friend used to work for a company called Service Master, and they would go in and clean up, like, clean up anything really, but he specialized in
Murders, crime
whatever.
scenes. Yeah.
A room full of condoms.
Would you kill a hooker? No problem.
Room full of C words. But they had just like cleaned out of a building that burned down, and they had a whole bunch of stuff, and one of them was a pristine regular Nintendo. And I asked, "Oh, can I have this? Can I just take this?" Like, yeah, go ahead, take that and all the games.
Can I take this arson machine?
It is clearly faulty regular Nintendo.
What's up? Oh, the wire's supposed to look like this? They hurt when I touch them.
Looks like a dead cat's tail.
Like a nunchuck?
And like inside it was like Ultima 4 Quest for the Avatar. So that's where I
That's
got on
another
that
one I
train and
remember,
gave
yeah.
to Josh. And it had like your typical games with it. So I took it home and I played all of them. I was terrible at Ultima, like had no clue what was going on. And my birthday was shortly after that. So they still sold NES games at Toys R Us. So I went and bought several NES games, one of them being Final Fantasy. So I remember I bought this and I shared it with Josh and with our friend Matt. And the three of us spent a lot of time on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I would remember. I remember arguments that we were having in like the lunchroom. What would damage sharks more? Would
God, I'm
would
so
lightning
glad.
damage more, or would ice damage them more because
I'm
it would
so
freeze the
fucking-
water?
I was thinking that was on my notes originally.
Yes.
Because I remember this argument so well because we were like, lit.
Yeah.
Lit is what you use. And Matt was
Wait, you
very,
guys were lit?
Very.
you guys steam lit.
You were ahead of your fucking time.
It's like, no. Like the shark. What if you freeze the water around the shark? It can't go. Like it can't go anywhere. It can't breathe. Like it's clearly better than hitting.
Gets all in his
lightning.
gills. Yeah, I get it.
Everybody knows that sharks can't breathe unless they're moving.
moving.
And if you freeze the
If you freeze it,
water,
it's automatically dead.
This is some my cousin Vinny. Like, this is some logic here. You're fucking selling this case.
So yeah. This was one of those games where you talk about like trading secrets with kids in school. This was one of those games that we definitely did. So lots of fun memories there. Yeah.
Not for me. I did not play this game as a kid. Final Fantasy VI was the first Final Fantasy game that I played. And then I played all of the other ones, except for 1, 2, 3, and 5. And then I played 1 for the first time probably in my 20s. And I didn't like it at all. I thought it was really a bad game. I thought it was really bad.
Which did you play original NES version or did
Yeah.
you play one of the okay?
I did. I played original NES version, and I didn't like a bunch of things about it. I didn't like the fact that it seemed so slow. It seemed very slow. Once I got my party put together and went out and started fighting, like the first pack of anything that I found, it was so like that one battle took so long.
Right. Yeah.
At the time, I did not know about a thing called respawn rate, which is an option
Yeah,
that
text speed, yeah.
that you select from the opening screen. So it was set on default, which I assume is 1.
Yeah, I think it goes up to
Yep.
9.
I think and it's like
Go ahead and put a gun in your mouth.
yeah. I mean, it was like because it's like I ran across like a pack of 9 enemies that could had the chance of inflicting a status effect. So it's like every time they would attack, it's like the attack resolves very slowly. Wait 5 to 6 seconds.
Yeah, because it's not like now, you get games give you quick animations like you attack and maybe the number of like pops
Right.
up out of the enemy or something. No, this is fighter attacks 3 times.
right.
42 points of damage. Yeah, it's just little indicators like that. You get there's separate messages.
Right,
They
that
all
pop
pop
up.
up. Yeah, the speed, whatever you have it set on. One of the mechanics about the game that like it took me a while to learn that I needed to target certain enemies, like different enemies with different fighters.
Right.
Because I would waste a lot of attacks on a corpse,
Right.
essentially.
Because when you kill an enemy, when one of your characters kills an enemy, it disappears, and it's all turn based. So you have to select all your attacks before anything is done. Once you select an action for all 4 of your characters, then they perform those actions over the course of combat. like you said, Josh, there's a chance that one of your characters has already killed an enemy that another character has targeted. And if that happens, the character attacks nothing.
Ineffective
attack. Which is the second thing that I absolutely hated about the game the first time I played through. So I didn't get very far. And then I tried it again a second time, like a couple years later. It's like, okay, I figured out the respawn rate thing. I can figure that, so that's good. We can make it go faster, so problem 1 solved. Problem 2, the ineffective attacks, not a big deal. I'll work around it. Not a big deal. And then I remember getting to the marsh cave, aka the marsh hole.
And there's a huge difficulty spike.
Yes, there is. And I hit that, and it was like, oh, cool, I'm dying like immediately. I think I'm done with this game. So I set it down.
Funny thing, my first time playing through, I think I figured it out about the marsh cave. This is the point that I was stuck on, that I had to wait until I went to school and talked to Tyler to figure out. But whenever I was just wandering around, just leveling up, getting money, that sort of thing, I finally figured out that, hey, you can heal outside of battle. What I would do, I knew you could use items in battle,
Yes.
and I didn't realize you had access to items like that outside of battle, so I would go to an easy area of the game, fight easy enemies, and just use items like that to recover. then I would like sail back over into and then I would get a little further. Then I'd have to go back.
Well,
So it was a lot of fun.
that's a different way to grind. But I mean, it's still in the spirit of the game, I feel like.
That's a good Final Fantasy challenge. Only heal in battle.
Only.
That's actually later on in the game, I think a really good strategy to just heal in battle using the healing
items,
staff. Yes.
yeah, and just all the items, like
Yeah.
the ones that cast like lightning or lit 2, stuff like that. Yeah, that's how I did a lot of grinding.
But so I played this game a third time. I picked it up for the show, and I really enjoyed it. I embraced the combat system, the ineffective attacks. I actually, honestly, think I prefer it over the convenience of getting through a battle by just hitting attack over and over and over
Yeah,
again. And-
which this is a mechanic that they changed in the later versions, like the PlayStation version, the
and the
Android,
ports.
and
the ports of Final Fantasy one.
it automatically defaults whoever the next attack to whatever enemy. So stuff like that. Yeah, they definitely sped up the battle. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how I feel about, as much as I hated the ineffective attacks, like targeting system, the first time I played it, this go round, what I found was that I actually didn't get bored during fights,
It's an
even
argument
grinding.
I've read for it because it keeps you engaged.
Yeah, totally. Because it's like Final Fantasy, even like games that I love the story of, like Final Fantasy VI, when I replay it, man, sometimes it's just like, because all the combat is most of the time, because I want to conserve spells and stuff for bosses, it's just everybody's attacking. And it's like we're all focus firing one enemy because I know that we can do it with no risk. Because it's like if we focus fire an enemy and it dies before everyone's attack is resolved, no big deal. They just move over to the next one.
That's something else about this game. It uses like the D&D magic system,
Yes.
where you have X number of level 1 spells, you have X number of level 2 spells. Later in the other ports, they changed that to MP. So you're on an MP-based system. But yeah, this is a certain number of spells. So I like that because it encouraged you to use other spells.
Other than your best spell
right,
every
and just
time.
instead of like nuking them over and over, you've got you're out of nukes now,
Right.
so now you've got to use lit 3, now you've got to use lit 2, and so on. Yeah,
I agree. I also like that spell system. I think it's really cool. It's a little cumbersome because you do have to.
I realize.
Yes, we realize. So you do have to buy all of your spells, which is completely new for me because I was used to just when a spellcaster levels up, they just get new spells. That's just a thing that happens, or you unlock it through some kind of like overly complicated grid or something.
it also makes you choose too. You have maybe 4 spells to choose from, but your character can only learn 3.
Right.
So you've got there's just one spell you don't have access to unless you've built your party with multiple mages.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also useful to know what spells actually work in the game
Oh, yes.
because a lot of the spells in this game don't work.
Yep.
And weird translations, too.
Oh, yeah?
I can't think of was it like Faith or something? No, Fade. Yeah, Fade was, I mean, what the hell does that do? Like the spell description says like fades evil away or something like that. It's holy.
Right, it's the holy spell.
Yeah, which, in later iterations of the game, they've named it to holy, but yeah, it was called Fade, and I had no idea what that did, so I never
never
got it
used
like
it.
my first playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's a good spell. It's like the only offensive white magic spell that you can use on things that aren't undead.
right, and that was another one, Harm.
Harm,
Like
right.
I never played D&D. Yeah, I know that, but yeah, what did Harm do? I used it, of course, I tried it on a group of regular enemies and it did nothing.
Ineffective.
So,
Yeah,
so I just never used it again.
Yeah.
And had I known that it would hurt undead enemies, I might have, but
Did you, Tyler, did you get the huge instruction manual that
Yes,
came
I
with the
did.
game? Did that have that information in it?
I feel like it did. It
Yeah.
didn't tell you what spells didn't work, but it tells
Right.
you what
Yeah.
spells did.
Yeah, there's a page just like these things are bugged.
I remember it had little descriptions about them. It would it sends enemies to Dimension X or something like that.
Yeah.
What I remember, stuff like that. But
We're Krang feasts on their souls.
Hey, we're crowding you out, Drew. Tell us a Final Fantasy anecdote.
So we got this, probably around 90 or 91. Never beat the game until around 97.
it's a long
Like,
commitment.
so we owned this game for 6 years before I ever actually beat
Did you know
it.
the Josh Nance heal system?
Right.
Yeah,
I think so.
I know. I'm learning this now. I think it was just either we got bored of it, or I think we got Final Fantasy 2 or 3 later, and then it's like, well, why would I go back to this broke piece of shit? But I remember when we finally beat it, me and my oldest brother Warren, who was visiting from college. So we had slowly been grinding this game, and I had just been grinding out so many levels. By the time we got to the final shrine, we just fucking blazed through it really quick. But when we beat it, we had a company over at our house at the time, and so Warren grabbed the controller from me to put in the last set of commands, and he's the one that beat Chaos.
Mhm.
And when he did it, he just jumped up and he was just like, yeah, fuck yeah. And since we had company at the house, my mom just burst in the door. She's like, get her, made him leave the room while I got to watch the ending for a game we owned for 6 years. So he still never seen the ending to Final Fantasy while he had to go kind of just sit in a corner and be quiet.
I was hoping you were going to say he beat Chaos and then the Nintendo caught on fire. It's another faulty system.
I thought you were going to say your finger tapped the Nintendo and it erased your data.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah,
There was a
or,
lot.
just
There was a
jostled
slight
it
vibration.
slightly.
I had to restart this game
Yeah.
a few different times because you hold reset when you turn the power off. If you don't, it'll erase your
And
game.
one save file.
Uh-huh.
If you went to new
Yeah.
game, that was it. You're done. It went to new game and I think saved. But that was it. Just one save file. So I lost a couple records like that.
Yeah,
Oh
I feel like
God.
Ryan erased over one of
Yeah.
my records one time.
Oh
my
Started a new
God.
game, saved his own.
I had a younger cousin who was just bored one Thanksgiving or something and was going through my different games and he popped this in and started a new game and then I pick it up a few days later and I'm at Cornelia.
Good.
Or Corneria,
Yeah.
which is also Star Fox's home planet. They, I know, right?
All right, game theory. Let's
Yeah,
link these two together.
link these together. I'm sure it's been done, but I know they renamed it in the ports to Cornelia, I believe.
Yeah, because I don't like any of the ports of this game.
I haven't played any of them.
I don't think there are any of them. I feel like this game is so simple; it needs this sort of interface to feel genuine. Otherwise, it's flash and no substance without its date, to it. So I just didn't enjoy any of the remakes.
I know they. Have you played the PlayStation 1 version?
I think it was the Dawn of Souls for DS is how I
for
played it.
GBA.
Yeah.
They
GBA.
the PS1 release is essentially you might like. I watched a little bit of it. It is they fix the bugs from the NES, so they make this everything that was broken, they fix, and then they give it like this 16-bit veneer. But other than that, from what I've heard and what I've seen, it plays just exactly the same.
Okay, that sounds all right.
So I want to try that one. Drew, have you tried that? Have you played the PS1?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask that question later. I was like, who's bought this game the most? Because it might be me.
Not me.
Yeah, well,
I have bought it 0 times.
This is one of those games that I would never feel guilty about pirating because I have bought this game so many times that I feel like I've paid for a lifetime membership of it. But I've got it. Yeah.
You're an entitled linkster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I've got it.
Yeah, I
on,
have the.
I've got it on Android, so that keeps your purchase history. So I don't have it on my current phone, but I could download it. I've already paid for it, so.
Humble brag.
Yeah, and that's
I've got it. I've got it.
I own the game.
I can play it on my pocket computer anytime I want.
I can access the menu and heal it outside of battle.
How many times have you bought the game, Drew?
Yeah, probably at least 5. Or well, I'll say 5. It was probably my parents that bought the original Nintendo cart, but
That counts.
I have it on that GBA, the Final Fantasy Origins PlayStation, and then my phone. Did I buy it on Steam? Is it available on Steam? I can't remember. But yeah, and I've been okay. I've been playing it on like my phone, and I just enjoyed like the little bits of like they have like the speed run button. So getting around town's not such a pain. Yeah. So they have a whatever sprint shoes option.
Mm-hmm. Do you like? I mean, what do you think? Which is the best?
That's a good question. It would be interesting to see it if they kept the original Magic system. I feel like when they converted to MP, it just makes it so much easier to have so many more uses of your higher level spells. So it just makes certain just encounters much more manageable because you don't have to like sit there like, shit, is this worth a fire to?
Right.
Or or maybe it's because I've played it so many times over the years, it just gets easier. It's hard to judge from that.
I hear the ports are much faster too. I know you mentioned the speed button, which makes it seem like it'd be faster, but like the combats are faster and
I remember
combat's faster. Yeah. They fix like you were talking about, like attacking into nothing. Like they fix that so that all like auto shifts over. So yeah, if you want to grind, you can just kind of jam on the
on the newer on the newer ports. You can beat it in a day. I don't know if that would be possible for the NES version, but
it's possible.
Yeah,
I think the world record is like under 2 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. Okay,
that's
for NES.
I was going to
under 2 hours.
I'm sorry, it's under 3 hours. It's
still
2 hours, 59 minutes, and 34 seconds is the current world record.
Because I remember on the Android port, I was I don't know, I was like 10 hours in, and I was already grinding for the last dungeon. So it's a pretty short game. Yeah.
What I wanted to say was Drew Rowland actually holds the world record.
Congrats.
That's correct.
So we should have mentioned that when we introduced him at the beginning of the show, but we didn't. So oops.
Yeah.
Is that on Wikipedia? Is it?
It will be. It will be for a very short period of time.
Start like slamming my hand into the keyboard. Like, have you checked out the Final Fantasy? Like we kind of talked about it on stream, but the Final Fantasy randomizer games.
I have not checked it out yet, but it sounds interesting. Have you?
Yeah, so I finally got it to work, and it's not that complicated. Once I figured it out, it was really simple. I shouldn't have taken me 2 hours to figure this out.
So what does it do?
So it entails like it just randomizes all the items in the chest. But it sets up the items where like the game can't be broken, but it also increases the experience by like ×5.
Huh.
So it's mostly like, so there's all these randomizer races. So it's mostly a memorization kind of thing of knowing where all the chests are. and your best options to get through things. But it also randomizes the spells and the spell houses. So like your level 1 spells, like heal, lit, harm, they can be replaced, and it'll be a level 1 nuke. Fire 2. And they would cost the level 1 cost.
Do they?
But they would still do the same amount of damage.
Nice. Okay.
So like they still work in their like damage parameters, because a lot of those items are kind of set in the way. But no, it's like a way you can play the game and play it in like 2 or 3 hours because the experience is set higher. But then so it's mostly just used for a lot of like speed run. Like I found this like weird speed run community through what was his name, Zalnop, that was helping you.
Yeah, Zalnop on
Twitch. Yeah, and like I looked at some of his like Twitch streams, and so then I found this whole community, and they have these like tournaments like every other weekend or so, or once a month or something like that, and you can like jump in these tournaments, and it's mostly it's just a memorization thing about knowing where. But sometimes you can get certain items that so they figured it out where the game can never be broken when you
you can't get the dynamite before your time, or the TNT or whatever, the nitro
like
in later versions.
TNT, I think.
Right. You can. So they've I guess set up those like randomization points where like you won't ever get like dicked over and you can't finish the game. And I've only like played past like getting to damn it, what's where you get your ship?
Paducah.
Paducah, sorry.
Portland?
Yeah.
Keep Paducah weird.
Oh, yeah.
That's off the coast of Oregon.
Yeah.
The 832s are alive in Portland.
Yeah.
I would love to.
No, but it's something I'm looking forward to, like trying to see how fast I can play through a game. But like all the battle system and stuff is still the same, so you have to like pay attention to battles and make sure you don't attack the wrong spots and stuff. But they increase the experience, but then they also adjust the 4 fiends. I think all the other bosses in the game, they left the same, but they made all the 4 fiends and chaos harder.
Really? I guess to compensate in case you get nuke at level 1.
Yeah, you get the massive.
They help that so you're just not blowing through things. But if you go to it's FinalFantasyRandomizer.com is the website, and all you do is upload your legally attained Final Fantasy ROM, and then it'll spit you back out a new ROM to download.
You mail them your cartridge.
So do they? I mean,
exactly. Yeah, you mail them their cartridge. They
mail one back. It's all on the up and up.
So do they? Is this true for other games too? Can you play Mario 3 where you're getting random items from the question mark blocks, stuff like that?
I don't play lesser games.
What? Sorry, I turned to Little John.
No. I'm sure they do. Yeah. Maybe that's probably another community. Yeah, or like a whole nother subset.
Link to the Past.
This is specifically for Final Fantasy.
Link to the Past.
Which that would be really.
Yeah.
People,
people randomize Link to the Past. Like that is a community of like games. Like Link to the Past is a big one. Every time like a randomizer, I feel like is brought up in a conversation, someone asks if I've played Link to the Past randomized, and it's like, homie, I could barely play it non-randomized and be able to get through it. I don't think I could. I couldn't sit down right now and play Link to the Past and be like, I know exactly what to do, because it's like I haven't played that game in probably 4 fucking years, 3 years or whatever.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I can't remember all that shit. So actually, maybe a randomizer would be great, because it's just like, I don't know, just fucking poke around and see what's up.
Yeah. And that's what I think. That's all the chests and dungeons and the layouts are the same. I guess the only thing that's mostly changed is the items in the shops, and then and the spells you can buy, and then items in chests. But all the chest layouts are the same.
Drew, I hate to disappoint you, but it looks like you've been unseated. Your world record speed run of NES version of Final Fantasy. You've been ousted by Gyre, who did it in the same amount of time you did. Actually, what happened was I made a mistake. I thought you were Gyre. Is that not? Are you not Gyre?
Drew Gyre Roland.
Gyre Roland.
Dryer. What I'm known on the streets. That's my street name.
Let me tell you. So here's something that's very heartbreaking to me. I'm on speedrun.com right now looking up Final Fantasy NES. The second place is like a minute off, like less than a minute off, and that was 3 days ago. So like some dude 3 days ago was like, I got this shit, and then he uploaded his time. It was like, fuck.
Yeah, 4 months ago, 3 days ago,
Thanksgiving
1
was
year ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, these are all very
This is
recent.
all, I know. Not like a decade ago. Like,
Let me see where I am on this list. Oh no, it cuts off. It cuts off after 9th, but I was like, I'm so close because 9th place is 5 hours 24 minutes, which is just like 31 hours less than my time.
but I'm sure they didn't get to level 99.
50
No
is
one.
the
If I
max.
say no one did.
Oh, yeah.
No one got to level 99.
Maybe I wonder if you could game Genie level 99 and like what that would do to the Nintendo besides catch it on fire, obviously.
I remember trying to play through this as a kid. Josh, I don't remember how far you got. I know as a kid, like Matt and I got stuck at Carrie.
Oh yeah, the Fiend of Fire.
The Fiend of Fire,
The
because
Marilith.
Carrie,
Yeah.
Marilith and all the other versions. Carrie is glitched that she doesn't have a weakness. She's not weak to ice. Like the other fiends all have an elemental weakness you can fucking
She's got a
blast them
weakness. It's
with.
called fucking swords.
Yep. Well, see, we
But
did
she has 6.
Yeah, that's true. She does have 6 of them.
because I believe his party was.
Oh yeah, that's something I'm curious as to what your
Yeah,
everybody's
we should talk
favorite
about
party
our
is.
party makeup.
So Matt's party was fighter, black belt, white mage, black mage.
Okay.
We didn't know what fast did.
Oh.
But we knew what temper did. So we thought, okay, we pump everyone up with temper, we can beat Carrie. No. Temper also glitched.
Temper doesn't work.
Does not raise your attack. So we just got fucking wiped constantly until Matt finally quit, gave the game to his grandmother. His grandmother started her own new game, and she's the one that blasted through without a guide anything until the very end. It was fucking amazing.
She is actually Gyre.
That would not surprise me.
It's actually an acronym. The G is for grandma. Y is you. R is regret. Grandma, you regret. And the E is
Everything.
So what was okay? So one of the coolest things I think, and the most addicting qualities of Final Fantasy, the first one, I think it makes this game very replayable, is the fact that when the game starts, you get to choose from 6 classes, 6 jobs, how you want to fill out your 4-person party. I think that is really cool. I wish that was like a thing. Like I wish that was like, I wish that had stuck around with the Final Fantasy series. Like I love the idea of being able to like make your own party.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great. I completely agree.
Very much like D&D. I mean, like very much like rolling up a character kind of deal,
Right.
and putting a party together.
Something else pretty interesting about this game is when you level up, it's random. Like the abilities you gain, or not abilities, but like your stats.
Your stat boot, yeah.
It's random. So you could
I didn't know that.
theoretically have a black mage with more hit points than your fighter. Like the algorithms are kind of working against that scenario, but it is possible. So yeah, your HP, your attack up and stuff like that you get it's random. It's like based on other stats, but again, there's always that chance that you'll only get 1 hit point that battle. And I mean, you can work it. You can save your game right before you level up, and then go level up. And if you don't like it, the outcome, you can reset and then start it
And lose
again.
all your save data.
Yes, there's that minuscule chance. Yeah.
Speaking of stats, luck doesn't work. That's an ability. And just the game is buggy as shit. Luck doesn't work. Intelligence is bugged. Intelligence is supposed to increase your spell power. Does not. Which makes Red Mage really, really, really good in the early game. Because a Red Mage can effectively cast up to 4th level spells just as well as a White Mage or a Black Mage. While wearing armor and using swords.
Yep.
But then they get shitty.
But then they do get shitty
Yeah.
because they lose access to spells and shit.
in my recent playthroughs, I like doing the red mage, and what I end up doing, I usually do fighter, red mage, black mage, white mage.
Okay.
And I end up giving all the best stuff to the red mage, like all the best equipment and everything, just so that he can keep up.
Oh yeah.
Which, in fact, not really. It doesn't work totally effective. My fighter with like the worst sword is still doing way more damage and can tank a lot better. And of course, the mages are out damaging and out healing him, but.
Fighter's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Fighter is a beast in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to beat a fighter.
The monk or the black belt, then he becomes the master, which is the class level up. But you get what is it? Speed or no? The haste spell. What was it? Fast. You put fast on that guy, and he's doing like 16 hits.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So what is everybody? What parties have you played through? What is your favorite party? Let's talk about party makeups.
I usually do the fighter. The first playthrough I did the fighter, the black belt, the white mage, black mage.
Mm-hmm.
That was my original party.
Drew, how about you? What's your favorite party?
God, I guess that depends, but I think it's probably the one which you ran through on Twitch, which is the fighter, thief, black mage, white mage. And then sometimes I like to sub in, the red mage instead of the thief. Yeah, I went with thief because I had heard that he helps you run from battles, but I don't know if that was actually true or not because I think that's based on the luck stat, which is broken. So I essentially I felt like I was kind of going with like 3 characters for a long time. And then in this game, all the jobs can be promoted through a side quest. Once he became a ninja, which is what the thief promotes to, I thought he was much more useful because he could cast like up to 4th level black magic spells and use better weapons, equip better armor, and that kind of stuff.
Because I guess I've had 3 parties that my first party that I played through, because I haven't beaten this game. I've gotten about halfway through the boss gauntlet at the end, and that was with a fighter, ninja, white mage, black mage. That was my first primary party. And then I have my party I played through it for the show was fighter, red mage, white mage, black mage. And then my sort of experimental party one time, I got about 75% through the game was 4 fighters. And that was interesting.
I hear that's actually not a bad makeup. The biggest problem is keeping them equipped.
Yeah. Equipped, and I run out of healing pretty quickly because all you have are potions.
The healing potions,
Yep.
yeah.
Which you can only use in battle.
And I guess you don't get the healing items, the reusable stuff, until much later in the game.
Right.
Unless you're doing a randomizer, maybe. Maybe you get that healing staff right out the gate.
That's true. But I remember just like I'd have the 4 fighters. It just sort of got boring because like I had the badass fighter, the okay fighter, the meh fighter, and the shitty fighter.
Has anyone ever gone to the game with 4 thieves or 4 white mages?
I started a game with 4 black mages once.
Yes.
And quickly realized it was going to be expensive to keep those guys. And yeah, it was just a lot of grinding, and I just eventually stopped.
Spells are expensive.
Drew, what about you?
I answered earlier.
Okay.
Oh.
If you've done any interesting.
No, I have tried I have tried the all 4 red mages. And then you kind of get hamstringed halfway through because they kind of peter out and really can't learn any of the better spells towards the end game.
But think of all the money you save by not buying Fade and Nuke.
But they can't equip any of the like good high end armor.
Yeah.
Like one of them can
but the rich.
massive, and that's
But
it.
the money is all that superpower.
They can retire, live out the rest of the world and like the end days in luxury.
I remember not being able to find the highest level spells. I could not find that shop.
Because the shops are hidden.
Time.
Yeah.
And they're like hidden in a like off screen.
Yeah.
It's like
They're hidden in a way where it's like if in order to find them you have to like accidentally not exit the town, essentially.
and the way the towns are set up, like if you just go slightly off screen or slightly like past the town boundaries, you're
Back to the
world map.
Yeah.
And you can exit the town pretty much anywhere around that perimeter. So you just have to happen to get lucky or
or someone can tell
Someone
you,
to tell
which
you,
is
yeah.
what happened
Somebody
to me.
at school, yeah.
Which is great. I honestly think this is like I like hearing you talk about, Josh, when you were like in school passing notes and helping you get through. That's essentially when I played through this game on Twitch. That's pretty much the same boat that I was in, except those notes were going very fast over the speed of the internet. And
It's also like, yeah, 2 steps that way. No, you went too far. Where are you going?
yeah, I know that is kind of a pain in the ass of like Twitch, where like the 9-second delay or whatever is real. Like anytime someone's trying to give you directions anywhere, it's just like pick a landmark because who knows where I'm going to be 9 seconds from now.
This last playthrough, I had no idea. Like, 'cause I know the big difficulty spike is around the Marsh Cave. Because once you hit Elfland, and that's when you can buy 2 levels of spells in one city, and they're incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
and
the armor there's expensive too.
Yeah,
It's where you get
weapons,
steel
armor, everything.
Yeah,
The weapons too, yeah.
Yep.
It's
The silver sword and shit. And the enemies, like the most you can do, like everything's 4,000 gold. Ogres will drop 200, and that's like the highest you can get from a battle is like 1 or 2 ogres. So remember that was the grind. Like playing through initially, that fucking took forever. And the Marsh Cave is super difficult. You have to have everything
Yeah,
maxed
the Marsh-
out.
yeah.
in order
it's,
to do
it's,
it.
it's so far from your town, so there's no sleeping
hard
at
to
the
get
end.
back.
There's no clinic, yeah. And they
Even a cabin's like 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to rest a full while you're out there.
all the status effects the enemies
so much poison in there.
Poison.
Yeah.
So much poison in there.
Yeah, poison. Yeah.
I spent so many of the battles running.
Mm-hmm.
If I was fighting anything that would give me a status effect, I'm out of there.
Yep.
I'd run from it instead
Yeah.
of trying to fight.
Because what I did this time that made it much, much easier on me is I used something I found on the internet called the Peninsula of Power. And apparently there are several of these across the Final Fantasy games because the worlds are laid out in grids while the continents aren't exactly designed to fit the grids.
They're not square.
Right.
Yeah.
So grids that are from different areas will sometimes overlap just a few squares. So north of Portland,
Right.
there is
Keep it weird.
there's a small peninsula of like 2 squares at the very, very top that cross over into the region north of you.
Canada.
Canada, right. So you can fight Canadian monsters that are far
Very
outside your
sorry.
power level and
Polite but powerful
Yeah.
monsters.
Yeah.
That's what I refer to Canada.
I was humble,
Powerful but
eh?
polite.
Yeah. No, don't use that harm to. I mean, no. Oh shit. Well, here's 4,000 gold.
But that's 4,000 Canadian gold. You gotta think of the exchange rate.
So if you go up on those two squares, yeah, you can fight mostly because you need to be able to go to Elfland and buy Harm 2 and Fire 2 and have the mages that can use them. But once you go up to the Peninsula of Power, you can drop 5 or 4 zombies spawn Harm 2, Fire 2 until they're dead. You can barely survive, but you'll get like 2,000 experience, 4,000 gold pieces from that one battle. Walk back, rest, come back, do it all over again. And that made it infinitely easier and quicker.
Yeah.
Like so much quicker and easier to get over that big hump at the beginning of the game.
That is a really big hump right outside of Elfland.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how much everything is. I thought the worst spike in difficulty was the ice cave. You have to go to the ice cave to get the airship to gain access to the northern continent. And that's like, at least with like the marsh cave, it's not a huge deal because it's like, I can grind this out. It's a pain in the ass, but I can get there. All I know is I have to grind it, get the money, get the experience, buy all the shit, and go to the marsh cave. The ice cave, I don't feel like there's anything I could fucking do to prepare to go into the ice cave because it's like,
the ice cave is optional.
no, the ice cave is it's optional if you don't want to finish the game. You have to go to the ice cave to get the floater.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was thinking, the side.
Because I think you can. That's what Matt eventually did in order to beat Carrie. Was you can go to the ice cave before the fire.
No, that's
cave.
what I usually do
Yeah,
on my
so get
not
promoted
playthroughs now.
first.
Yeah, go through and do the side quest before you ever hit the
Yep.
volcano. Yeah.
Yep.
And you could do that by getting the airship and then go and do the
Right.
trial of ordeals.
Yep.
Yeah. Which I've heard people do. I did anyway. When I did the ice cave, I almost quit the game because everything in there like has some kind of death magic
Right.
or
just straight up will
or
kill
just
you.
straight up will kill you. Yes,
Yeah,
it's like
with one attack,
With
yeah.
one attack, and it's like I've had so many wipes where it's like there's something that you can do to protect yourself, but it's not accessible unless you have the airship. In order to get the airship, you have to go to the ice cave. So it's like you can go to the northern continent and buy protection rings, which ward off death, but it's like these would have been great to have in the ice cave because it's like I went through this thing like 7 fucking times until I got through it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I remember the ice
Yeah.
cave because you've got those little rings in the floor. It's like little
The holes.
like little orange rings
Yeah.
in this like black floor, and I thought they were just like magic portals.
I thought they
what
were
just-
teleportation circles as well.
That's what I assumed until later playthroughs, and they're like little holes
They're
in
holes.
the ice, that you fall through, yeah. But you don't know where
What
you're going.
magical
like-
ended it whisk me to?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, the floor below.
Yeah, I remember the ice cave was pretty brutal too. Yeah, and the trial of ordeals, but I usually grind it a little bit before then.
Yeah.
I think the black mage. I always call it grow up. That's what. Remember,
Growing up,
I grew up calling it. You grow up.
You grow
Your father's
up.
characters grow up. And I remember being like, all right, I thought the fighter. Okay, he looks pretty badass. Ninja.
turns into a
Okay,
knight.
badass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, gets white magic. Like, yeah, okay, awesome. Black mage. Okay, you turn to Dracula. Okay.
Dracula.
That's fine. I always they look like, or Count Chocula. Maybe he looks more like Count Chocula. The white mage is like, he looks like Hercules or like what I imagine like Samson from the Bible to look like. Black belt. Okay.
well, there's a
pretty badass.
movie, isn't there, coming out? It looks like a made-for-TV movie about Samson. I don't know if it's got the guy from Twilight, not
Samson from the Bible or Samson from the Marvel universe?
Samson from the Bible.
Or Bart Sampson.
Bart Samson.
I'm looking it up. Go ahead and continue to story time.
What was
You were going on about the growing ups.
the red mage I thought looked kind of weird.
The Red Wizard.
Yeah. But I remember I thought that was really, really cool. Like when I first found that out and first did that, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty badass."
I don't like the grown up sprites.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they all look squished because they're
They
they're the
do.
same height as the regular fighter, black
Yeah.
mage, white mage. But so they're the same height, they're just their features are all smaller. So it just
right.
makes them seem kind of squish.
Yeah.
They're also less iconic because it's like the original fighter, black mage, white mage, thief, monk. I mean, all of those look like they're so simple that they're iconic. The black mage is probably the most iconic fucking character design Square has ever done. Even though he looks like I'm not a big He-Man guy, but he looks like that character from He-Man.
Oh shit!
He-Man?
It starts with an O.
Damn it.
It's not Orcus.
Orzo.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Orzo.
Thank you, Drew.
Orpheus.
Orpheus.
Thought train left the station. Don't no words.
Well,
No,
okay,
words.
the
No.
Samson movie, it's Samson 2018. If you want to look it up on IMDb, it is.
Is there a trailer out?
Yeah, there is a trailer.
Are you
out.
hyping this movie?
This is how I saw it. Okay, Samson is played by a guy named Taylor James. I don't know who that is, but Billy Zane is in the
Are
movie.
you sure not?
So you had me at Billy Zane.
Sure it's not James Taylor?
It's Taylor James is this guy's name.
porn
Let me
star.
see. Known for Samson.
I know.
Justice League, he was an Atlantean something.
All right.
Christmas
Not the one
Eve.
anyone cares about.
Blitz. Oh, yeah. So
He played Dead Body in an in an episode of Law and
floating in
Order.
water. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Atlantean. That just means he was in the crowd.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right.
Which, which is a very viable thing. Jacob, nah. But yeah.
So thoughts
Game.
and words.
Yep, Samson.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I love all. I remember the sword animation, especially for the fighter. I always loved about this game because I loved seeing the weapon and the weapon would change.
Oh, yeah, that
as
was-
you changed weapons.
that was a big
very
deal,
cool.
yeah.
It's huge. They don't do that now. I mean, for the most part, like it's a big deal for me to see it because it's like, oh, cool. My thief is now using a scimitar, or as it's called in the game, Skimter. And it's green. All of a sudden, he's got like a curved green sword. That's cool. I don't feel like I get that feeling when I play a modern, like, Final Fantasy 15. At no point was it like, oh, look at that.
Same for like, I mean, 6 did it. 6 did it well, but you don't see it very often. I feel like my favorite incarnation of it is 6. Just the large weapons that appear, or whenever Locke will get like 2 full moons, then you get the animation from throwing the long range weapons.
Totally.
But this game did it first, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, how your spells get slightly bigger every time from Fire 1 to Fire 2.
Yeah.
But you get a different color palette whenever you go Fire 3. It's like dark red or something. You mentioned the name of the weapon. That was another thing. Yeah. The game only had very, very little space for descriptions, even enemies.
Oh, yeah.
I remember fighting GR Wolf.
Right.
And it was purple-colored wolf.
Grape
so
wolf.
I just assumed it was a grape wolf.
Up top. Me too. It wasn't honestly until like, no shit, maybe 6 hours ago, I was like, oh, is it supposed to be greater?
Yeah.
Up until then, I was just, honestly, I was like, grape. This is my thought process. Grape. Nah, that's ridiculous. Probably gray.
Yeah.
Man, I fucking hate these grimps.
Right.
Grimps.
Yeah.
Because I remember like my first party, I think was like Ty, Josh and Matt. They work out, and then like I remember I had my friend Dustin, so it was like Dust, okay, Josh, Ty, Matt, Dust, and eventually first shake it was Ash. So, but like you just had to have a lot of friends with only 4 letters in their name.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we became friends.
Hey, you have 4 letters in your name. Let's do this.
What's your name? Josh J. Okay.
Nailed it.
You're in.
What's your name? Damien? No. Moving on. That's why Dave. That's why we're friends. So I can do Dave.
That's right. You were. I named my thief after you in my most recent playthrough. I did Tai Tai.
Yeah.
And you, Josh, you bringing up that the enemy names were had to be abbreviated reminded me of like even some of the enemy names are ridiculous. If they're not ridiculous, they are like changed slightly so to maybe not be sued by TSR, who I believe owned Dungeons and Dragons at the time, because it's like they're straight up like this is pretty much like D&D.
Yeah, you fight mind flayers, you fight
the wizards. Whoa, mind players. We don't have the rights to that.
Wizards and
but they have squid faces.
Sorsar.
What's that, Drew?
Sorsars.
Yeah, Sorsar.
Yeah.
And then there's actually there was a beholder in the game. The eye
the
that
phantom.
Yes.
Yeah.
The eye that you fight at the end of the ice cave, and the phantom that shows up at the in the Temple of
Is it
Fiends.
Evil
at the end
Eye?
Of the game.
Is that what it's
It
called?
is just
Evil
eye. It is just straight up EYE. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what
I
got
think
us.
they changed it to Evil Eye in later versions.
Did they? I see why they would. Someone at some point was like, "Is this dumb?" And another guy was like, "Yep, we should probably fucking change it. Should we change Skimter? Nah." That's a legendary weapon. But originally in the Japanese version, Eye is named Beholder, and it looks exactly like a beholder from the Monster Manual. And then when it came over here, they changed the sprite art and renamed it Eye. Because they did not want to get sued.
Shit, I had a point I wanted to make again, but I forgot it. There's so much shit, I forget all of it.
Well, while we're talking about bosses, who here has fought War Mech?
That's what I was going. Yep, that's what I was going to think.
I have.
The hidden boss in the game that is in Final Fantasy tradition, optional hidden secret boss is actually harder than any boss in the game. War Mech, I ran into War Mech. And it fucking sucked.
I never ran into it by accident. I didn't even know about it until I think Tyler told me.
I remember
once.
looking at the instruction booklet, and like it was listed in the instruction booklet under the enemies. I remember looking, being like, what the fuck is this one? I have like a million, like everyone else, like 200 hit points, 400 hit points. Like Tiamat had like 32,000 hit points. Warmech like 1.5 million hit points or some shit. Like it was such a drastic number. We were just like baffled as that this has to be a misprint. Why is a normal enemy stronger than all of the 4 fiends put together?
It just reminded me of something I wanted. My brother, I was able to talk my older brother. This is a feat. I was able to talk my older brother into helping me because I had that like printout, that like poster of all the enemies and all their hit points and stuff like that.
Do you have that still?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a very long time. It got so used that I had to tape it like
Nice.
together in creases, but
Probably in the pocket of your Boy Scout uniform.
maybe that. Oh damn! But I had him sit by with a calculator and put in the enemy's hit points, and then I would damage it and tell him to like mark so much down.
No.
So and he did that. He helped me beat a few bosses
That's
like that.
That is a rare older brother move. I
Yep.
feel like.
I know. So I had that reverse, where I was the note taker
Nice.
while my older brother played.
Yeah, I was about to say that seems like a little
Yeah,
brother delegation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, your brother's not as cool as you, Josh, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet your brother's
you're
never beaten
welcome.
Final Fantasy 1.
He was there because that's how he helped me beat Chaos. Because Chaos had 2,000 hit points, I remember, and I remember him putting it in, and like he was pretty surprised at that big number.
And then when you did it, he yelled, "Fuck yes!" And your mom came in and made him leave the room.
We just yelled condom really loud.
I mean, your dad might love him more, but I love you more, Josh.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Warmech.
No. Warmech.
Warmech
Yeah.
looks like the mech from RoboCop. I think it's ED-209.
Yeah.
And also tore through me, much like that mech does in the movie RoboCop when it straight murders that guy in the conference room. Because the first time I knew it was possible that he would spawn. It's on this bridge that's like just one tile wide, and it's a very long bridge. You have to take it to fight the last fiend, Tiamat. And on the way, like, I knew that it was possible to fight Warmech. And I did not want it to happen because I wanted to actually finish this game. And I was worried that if I had to fight Warmech, that I would not be able to finish this game. Sure enough, first time, he fucking spawns, casts a spell called Nuclear, which, like, instantly kills, I think, 2 of my party members. One, like, the fighter's still standing, someone else is still standing, but barely.
it has radiation poisoning, but
Right,
still
yeah,
standing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Gotta watch those rads. So I spent my next turn popping Rad X, and then he killed me. No, even worse than that, he got to go again before I got to go, and then just killed us off.
Ugh.
And then the only way I was able to beat him was to eventually I got the first attack, and it was just straight up use all the most powerful spells that I have. It doesn't matter. I guess I won't be able to have them when I fight Tiamat. Oh well, I guess. And that was the only way I was able to do it. And
It's an achievement. I've never beaten him, so.
he is supposed to be harder, but he's bugged. He is supposed to regen 10 to 15% of his health at the end of every round.
Oh fuck! I have never. I've beaten him on the later versions of the game. I've never beat him on the NES version.
I had to
though,
save
so.
scum to do it. Like, I mean, because I wasn't going to march my happy ass all the way back up to Tiamat's tower.
From the like, oh yeah, because that's first of all you got to get through the desert, then you got to go up the Mirage Tower,
Yep.
and then you're in the floating castle.
which is essentially a satellite.
Yeah.
Which I love. I
yeah.
love the fact that they already had this like futuristic kind of tilt to the Final Fantasy series, like even in the first game. Because there's like Tiamat's fortress is a satellite, and
I mean, you've got computers,
Yeah.
and and little like blinking lights and stuff like
and
that.
robots.
Yeah.
There are a couple robots in the game, and it's like they're all based around the air fortress about Tiamat. And I just thought it was really cool because it's like for a moment it's like, wow, this kind of reminds me of Phantasy Star or something like that, just because it's like in space And I love the fact that I guess when they were like, well, where would the air fiend be? Well, way, way the fuck up in the air. So I guess outer space. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. How should we get there? Give a cube to a robot? All right, done.
But the robot's hiding behind a waterfall, so.
The robot is hiding behind a wall. Yeah, you're right.
Well, how do you have to get there? Well, you need to have a rock that always floats. You put on a boat and makes your boat float, and that's how you get there.
You're right,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You guys have anything else? We're getting close to time.
The only other thing I can think of are like the little nice little flavor text things that this game has that I think is really neat. Like there's a grave in the elf village. Where in the NES version, when you read it, it's like a little dig to Dragon Warrior or the Dragon Quest series. It says, "Here lies Erdrick." I've never played a Dragon Quest game, so Smoke Bomb.
Yeah, and they do Link later on.
Yeah.
It's Link makes more
the
sense.
default name.
Because it's an elf village.
It's like the
Right. And they're all dressed like Link, essentially.
Yeah.
And it is Link in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I guess when it was translated, someone was like, I don't know who this Link guy is, but I do know who Erdrick is. So gonna put his name in.
I guess I should also say I think this was called Final Fantasy because it was the developer was going bankrupt, and so they put everything behind one last game, hoping that it would succeed. So this is what they all wanted to do with their lives. It wasn't working out. This was their Final Fantasy.
That is an urban legend.
Oh, is it?
It is. It
Damn,
is. That is
okay.
an urban legend that has been around for decades. Because I remember hearing that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I first played Final Fantasy 6 or 3, I remember asking, why is this called Final Fantasy if there's more than one of them? Because the title would indicate that there would just be one of them. And I was always told that. And I thought that, honestly, I thought that up until a couple of days ago.
I thought that up until about 10 seconds ago.
From what I understand, Square was in trouble as a company because they were a utility company, like an electric utility company that just happened to start making video games because they were popular. And apparently a lot of companies were doing this, and they made a whole bunch of shitty games. And then they weren't doing well, but they wanted to do a Dragon Quest clone because Dragon Quest was insanely popular. And everybody was making Dragon Quest clones. And so they were like, well, let's do one of those. And they really wanted it to have the initials FF. For some reason, that was very important to them. I have no idea why. They originally were going to name the game Fighting Fantasy, and that's their FF. That fits their criteria. However, there was already, I think, a Steve Jackson tabletop RPG called Fighting Fantasy, so they decided to name it something different. They wanted to keep that FF. They wanted to keep fantasy. They named it Final Fantasy. I don't know why. I don't know where the final came from. I don't know why they decided that. It might have something to do with the
This is the final name we're gonna try, and then
right.
and then if that, we're just scrapping the whole game.
Right.
This is the last F word.
Fuck fantasy. Oh, that's a different game. Yeah, that's also trademarked.
Will that fly? No. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Okay, I don't
no,
know.
final, I don't know. But yeah, that's the story I never knew up until a couple days ago. But that is, they wanted to name it Fighting Fantasy. That FF was really important to them.
I guess it's got its marketing power. It's memorable.
I guess. I don't, yeah, I mean, that alliteration,
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know why it was so important, but that is, and I feel like that's 2015 is when that came out with an interview with Sakaguchi, I think, which is just oh, okay, cool. Well, you just turned everything on its fucking head because up until this point, I had thought that it was straight up because they were going under, and this was their Hail Mary.
Which I like that story better, but
Well, sorry.
no, I'm glad. Ignorance is not always bliss. It's all right. I'm glad to know. You guys have any achievements?
Well, I was going to ask
thoughts?
Dave if he knew. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I ever got to see you do it. Did you get to play the secret game on the ship?
Did not play the secret mini
Oh
game.
yeah, where you hold select and hit B like
What?
55 times or something like that.
I did not
Yeah.
know about this.
I didn't either. Someone told me about it in chat, and I forgot to do
Okay.
it. You have to be on the ship,
Yeah.
and I think you have to do
Yeah.
like BA repeatedly. Is that right, Drew? Or
You hold select. Yeah. Do you hit B 55
Oh.
times?
you nailed it, Josh.
And then it brings up a little a sliding puzzle game, and it's just like 1 through 16, and you just have to slide the numbers into their spot, and you get like 100 gold.
They're just numbers. It's not even an image or anything like that.
Nope.
Oh
nope,
my God, that's hilarious.
Nothing fun. No, it's terrible. And I just checked. It's on the iOS game still.
Oh, nice.
And it's still just a little sliding number bubbles game.
It still has the numbers.
Yeah. They didn't do any. They didn't like change anything.
They don't
It
even
was
give
just
you like a.
Oh no!
What were they like?
but-
They programming the game and they're like, "Well, we're done, but we have some memories left."
You're right.
Yeah.
We got some memories. What are we gonna do with these memories? Should we
What are we
fix all the
gonna do with
bugs?
this one
Nah.
fight?
The menu, like the map icon or the map access is hidden in the game. Of course, like the magic broom kind of hints at.
Yeah, if you can read backwards.
You gotta learn. You gotta understand that it's talking backwards to you. But yeah, like press B select.
Select.
Yep.
And then it downloads the map from AOL. Because
Very
it's like,
slow.
It takes so long for that fucking map. And it like makes it makes like a modem tone when it does it too. It's like
Yeah.
cool. All right. So I guess I'll be looking this one up online. never hit B select ever again.
The most memorable song in this, because I love the music, of course. The
music's
most
great.
memorable song, or track rather, in this game to me is Matoya's
Toya's Cave.
Yeah.
Yep. Which they reuse in some dungeons, which is nice because it's always nice to hear that
Yeah.
song. I love that track so much. I use that in my game quite a bit.
That's why it's the most
It
memorable
makes
to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes a big comeback in Final Fantasy 14.
Really? I never got to that part.
Yeah, you have to get through the Heaven's Ward, the DLC expansion. But yeah, Matoya makes a comeback,
Oh,
and like
no.
a fucking redone version that's like really fucking good.
Damn, I wish I'd have stuck with that game. I actually, it pains me that it's brought up because they had a Cyber Monday sale for Final Fantasy 14 Complete, which is like the base game and like both expansions, and it was $30, and I meant to buy it,
Damn.
and then I
Yeah.
forgot about it until this morning, and I was like, is this Cyber Tuesday maybe? And no, it was already back up to $60.
Oh man, it'll drop again.
Yeah, but now I got to wait. Which is fine. I hemmed and hawed over it anyway because it was like, if I get back into like Final Fantasy 14, I won't want to play anything else, and that's going to be a problem.
There, you guys got achievements?
Yeah, I got a bunch.
I
Fucking A.
don't, but I can probably come up with one.
Well, if no one has achievements, I got you covered, so don't worry about it
I've got 5.
because I do this.
Can I one childish one?
Was that Drew?
Can I get my one childish one? Sorry, I was going my one childish one out of the way.
Yeah, not your grown up.
I thought you were saying something about shawarma. I didn't know what you were saying.
No, just
Can I get my
childish.
child shawarma?
Yeah,
I
Drew.
guess.
Which is, I'm sure this was answered on stream, but it's going to be called Rub One Out,
Yes.
and it's you use rub on one enemy.
Right. I like it.
I actually have. Okay, so there's this thing. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/TADPOG_podcast.
Yeah.
I streamed the entire gameplay of Final Fantasy. There's 36 hours of it up there if you want to fucking watch it. For whatever reason, you can. It's definitely more fun if you're there while it's happening, but you can catch up if you want. So there's this thing I like to do when I'm playing a game for the show, and that is to give anybody in Twitch chat the opportunity to suggest an achievement. So I have 53 achievements. Oh, I'm sorry, 54
Nice.
achievements, of which I've whittled down to 13. And then I added one while we were recording. So I've got 14 achievements.
Jesus.
All right.
right.
Let's go.
Would you like me to just do all of them,
Yeah.
or do you want to break them up?
Fucking
or-
do it like Job. Just fucking throw them out there.
All right. First achievement, credit to Sandwich Pope Phil, is Curb Your Enthusiasm. In order to unlock Curb Your Enthusiasm, you need to defeat Jeff Garland at the Temple of Fiends. I don't think we talked about Garland
No,
at all.
The final boss.
That's the twist of the game.
Right,
Yeah.
and we didn't talk about that either.
That's true. We didn't talk about that.
So, right, in the very beginning,
There is actually a story.
Spoilers.
Yes.
Spoilers. There's
Sort
not
of.
much of a story, but spoilers.
it is paper thin for
Yeah.
sure. But this is also what's nice about achievements. I feel like achievements also give us an opportunity to be like, oh, we forgot to talk
Yeah.
about that thing. So Garland is the first boss you fight in the game, and turns out, spoilers, he's also the last boss you fight in the game. There is a time loop that he has created where the four fiends send him back 2,000 years to meet Jesus. And
You're Jesus split into 4 parts.
you're Jesus. You're the body. You're the I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But the fiends send Garland back into the past, and then Garland from the past sends the fiends to the future, and it's like it doesn't make sense. It's really convoluted, which is also I feel like a Final Fantasy tradition. And essentially they've created a time loop so that Garland can live forever in this time loop. It just keeps cycling back and forth, which I didn't know that was the twist in the game, which made me really appreciate what they did in Bravely Default a little bit more. It's the end of Bravely Default is still tedious. No huge spoilers for Bravely Default, but it makes me feel like they were tying into Final Fantasy 1. So, and Jeff Garland, we all know from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. I remember there was, because of course Matt and I were very into Final Fantasy, and I remember there was a girl who transferred in 6th grade, and when she got up and introduced herself, her last name was Garland. And Matt and I were like, "Oh shit!" Like we asked, like, "Is your last name really Garland?" like she was actually a Final Fantasy fan.
Right.
Low-key Final Fantasy, just kind of trick us. She's like, "No, it really is." Like, awesome.
Was your dad a knight? Was your dad a knight on Star Fox's home planet?
All right, that's my only comment about Garland. I forgot about that until you said that.
I love it.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You should.
Yeah.
Second achievement. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Credit goes to Kanaha. In order to unlock You Wouldn't Like Me When I'm Angry, you need to defeat one green ogre, which straight up 100% looks like the Hulk because it is like
It's
green.
got the like tattered,
It's tattered purple clothes. And it's just like, yeah, that's the fucking Hulk. Like, that is straight up what it is. Third achievement, credit goes to executive producer Janie, who maintains our YouTube channel. And if you do not currently subscribe to our YouTube channel, just look up Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. And please subscribe to that because we want to get to 100 subscriptions so that we can get like a custom URL. Janie, I had to look this one up. She came up with the achievement Rincewind. Does that ring any bells for anybody here? Rincewind?
It sounds vaguely familiar. I don't know why.
Rincewind is a mage. Now, I have not read Discworld, but it's a character from Discworld who is not a very good spellcaster. In order to unlock Rincewind, you need to use all of the bugged spells in the game at least once.
I like that one.
Which is a very, like, that achievement makes you waste resources because you have to buy the very expensive
And
spells.
that slot is permanently
died
gone because you can't
forever.
get a refund on your spells.
Yeah, and you can't reconfigure, you can't respec. Yeah,
Yep.
so that is a whew, you got to be committed to unlock that. Fourth achievement, credit goes to Shadowrunner Cody. This achievement is why did it have to be snakes? In order to unlock why did it have to be snakes, you need to run away from some snakes, which is wise because they fucking poison you. Fifth achievement is the one Drew gave, rub one out, defeat an enemy with the rub spell. And that was not only Drew, that was also Faceful of Alien Wing Wong. We got sixth achievement, Light Up My World like nobody else. I'm sure we're all fans of boy bands. So
of course.
that's one of that's like a boy band song. Credit goes to Justine for that. In order to unlock Light Up My World like nobody else, you have to light up all 4 orbs. As you defeat a fiend, the corresponding orb lights up. And that is what you use. You use those lit orbs to go back into the past to fight Jeff Garland. Seventh achievement is credit to first-time caller Nate Glines. Wow, that escalated quickly. In order to unlock, that escalated quickly. You need to get to the ice cave, which is, in my opinion, the hardest dungeon in the whole fucking game. Eighth achievement, credit goes to Ego Guy Games, is the one who lived. And in order to unlock the one who lived, you need to kill 8 of 9 enemies with one spell. So you leave one remaining.
I've done that.
Ninth achievement, and I have to admit, I don't like to play favorites, but this is my favorite fucking achievement. It's a very Tadpog achievement. Credit goes to Edgelord Kyle. The achievement is Peter North. And in order to unlock Peter North, you need to one-shot the eye boss in the ice cave.
Yeah.
I know, I love it. Oh, God, he fucking killed it. Kyle gave a bunch of great achievements, but like that was the one. I was like, that is the one that's going in. Ruby, Drew, you're all right.
All these other ones are going to be garbage.
Yeah, I should have ended with the Peter North achievement. 10th achievement. Credit goes to Ruby Bear and Paul Kluel, the original mini boss. In order to unlock that, you need to beat Garland on your first try, which I think is pretty easy. I think Garland's pretty easy fight. 11th achievement is Floater. Credit goes to Douglas, formerly of Better Made. In order to unlock Floater, you need to obtain the key item Floater in all caps, so that's how you know it's a key item. You need to obtain that while taking a dump.
It can be done, yeah.
Especially if you're using your phone. You're playing on your phone.
Right. Or GBA, yeah.
Or the GBA. Yeah, that's true. Or the GBA. 12th achievement. Credit goes to Zalnop. Big fucking shout out to Zalnop because Zalnop was my fucking living strategy guide. My living, breathing strategy guide who was like, when I got stuck or frustrated, he was like, do this.
Yeah. He knew his shit.
He really knew his shit. He's like one of the guys who's like really big into randomizing and stuff like that. So like he knew the game inside and out. So he was really fucking cool. His achievement is the real boss. And in order to unlock the real boss, you need to kill Warmac.
Yep.
13th achievement, credit to Overseas Philip, is Grape Sharknado. In order to unlock Grape Sharknado, you need to get sneak attacked by a pack of GR sharks. Grape sharks.
That ties into the achievement I come up with while you're doing those. It is Time Lord Grape Wolf. And that is to use Zap. I'm pretty sure it has an exclamation point. Yeah,
the spell Zap.
Which the description says sends enemies to the 4th dimension.
Time.
So yeah, so you zap on a grape wolf, and that is, you unlock Time Lord Grape Wolf.
Last achievement. This is a Dave original. Not as good as any of these that I've already read, but it is the one I came up with while we were recording. Thanks to you, Tyler, because you mentioned Grimps, how the Grimps stole Christmas, and what you need to do is waste all of Christmas Day and Christmas Eve doing nothing but playing this game. You forsake your family, you forsake your religion, whatever you believe in, you shut it down for 2 full days and play this game.
Yeah. Right now I've got 6. So I've got
6.
I know. Now you sound like my wife.
Give me those achievements twice and then hit me hard.
Let's see. 4 Iron Frenzy is my first one, and that is where you make a 4-fighter party.
Nice.
I've got the Paupers Party, which is referenced last episode. It's 4 black belts. Then I've got VVVVVVVV, and that is make a party of 4 black mages. The Path of Nance, only heal in battle.
Yep.
Ares ain't got shit, and that is you kill Warmech.
Nice.
And then Grape Expectations, and is where you get in a battle and kill 4 Grimps.
All right, I think that's it.
Yep.
With achievements.
Yep.
Tyler, I got some questions for you.
Fuck yeah.
A lot of questions.
yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
shitload of questions. Like
Do
you
it.
thought I had a lot of achievements, I
know.
got more questions. The first of which is, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would have to give it the theorized feathery beard of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I'm sorry, theorized feathery beard.
That the T-Rex had feathers.
Oh, no.
So like a mane of feathers around its neck.
All right. I like it.
So I give it the T-Rex feather beard.
Why is that?
So like the T-Rex is sort of like it's your entry into a lot of 10-year-olds entry into the world of dinosaurs, and that fascination sort of continues on for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So Final Fantasy is sort of that first thing that hooked you as a kid that then determines kind of what games you may play for the rest of your life.
Right. A butterfly effect.
Yes.
It actually affects a lot of things, like what kind of car you end up buying, who you marry, a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably would have married the Garland girl had she, asked you.
That's true, yeah. But in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Our wedding would have been chaos. Yeah.
So, I have a question. Sorry to interrupt Beards and Glasses, but you said Chaos. Josh, at one point in time, you had a cat named Chaos.
I did, yeah.
And it is, in fact, named after
No,
Garland?
it was not. It was named. She was named after a dream I had
Oh, okay. About Garland.
about a cat. About a cat named Chaos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Who was Garland?
Josh told me he had a dream about a cat named Chaos that was white, had one blue eye
Oh,
and one
that's-
green eye.
I knew this. I
So I was-
forgot.
when it came time for his birthday, I was like, I want to get Josh a cat. So I called a shelter in Paducah. They're like, yeah, we do actually have a cat like that. I was like, I'm coming to get it.
Prophesized.
Yep.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would you give it?
I have to give it the black frame spectacles of Rivers Cuomo.
Oh, I like those glasses.
'Cause I feel like the T-Rex is sort of your first introduction. The first band I ever liked was Weezer.
Yeah.
The first band I ever got into to albums and songs.
Yeah.
So like this game is sort of like a first RPG. Like I look at it as the first band, Rivers Glasses.
All right. And in the song In the Garage, he talks about the Dungeon Master's Guide,
Yep.
which heavily influenced this game.
Extremely.
Yep.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
Josh,
Yes, Dave.
Andrew, I have a question for all three of you. If you were to buy this game through pricecharting.com,
Oh, damn.
how much do you expect you would pay for it?
Oh, this is the new price guide.
Yes, this is. We're off that Amazon tip.
What?
Okay,
So
shit,
explain.
I got to scale back
Price-
my
price
$100
guide?
guess.
Explain price guide.
It
to
is
me.
price charting
Or price chart. Yeah.
or sharding.
Sharding.
Right.
Explain sharding.
Well, it's what happens when you accidentally type in. You mean to type in price farting?
You're trying to get that achievement on the shitting achievement while being-
Right,
yeah,
the floater achievement.
floater, yeah.
You're trying to. Well, actually, you type in price farting, and Google's like, "Did you mean price sharding?"
It's like the time I Googled, why wasn't Jesse in the end of the Saved by the Bell movie? And Google was like, did you mean why wasn't Jesus in the end of the Saved by the Bell movie? I was like, oh, let's go with that. Google. That
Yes,
sounds
click.
fine.
Price charting is a website, Josh, that aggregates the prices for things and then gives an average price.
Okay.
So it takes like a price
okay.
from eBay and Amazon and Overstock and places like that.
Okay. I got you.
Okay. Are we going loose cart?
Well, yes, let's do loose cart.
Okay.
And Drew, we can't see you, so we're just gonna go on the honor system. If you guess it right, so what I'm saying is you can be right, but just don't guess it right on the nose.
Do like you cheat in school and just get a few wrong.
Yeah.
Be a little off. That was good.
All right.
I need your answer in 3 seconds, Drew.
Well, that's why I'm trying to play. So HQ trivia is going on right now. I don't know if y'all jumped on the phenomenon that
I have
is
not.
HQ trivia. Well, it's an iPhone only game,
You
but it's
stalling.
a live trivia show.
Yeah, stop stalling, Drew. How much is this fucking game?
I know. It's exactly $8.17. Anyway, no, sorry.
817. Are you going with it? Or is
Oh no. God, what do I want to go with?
Whatever your computer says, apparently.
Oh yeah, clappity clap. Yeah, I guess. Oh God, 825, Bob.
825 from Drew. There's
Yeah.
far too many of you. I can't remember what all the prices are going to be. So
Honor system.
Honor system. If you feel like you won, let me know. Tyler, what do you think?
Okay.
Loose.
$18.
$18 from Tyler.
I'm going
Josh?
to go higher. I'm going to go 24.
24.
Damn.
All right. So we can actually do a real like Price is Right style since there are multiple players. Tyler, you win. Actual retail value of Final Fantasy for the NES used loose on pricecharting.com is $19.45. That's not too bad. I honestly thought it would be. I thought it would be more than that.
Yeah.
Like I would have guessed higher than you. I mean, I would have just assumed this was like
that would be.
You mean I'm sitting on like $20?
yeah,
I know. Well, I just figured with it being released so many times, like
yeah, that affects the value.
yeah, I thought it would be
But
cheaper.
that
I thought
sweet box
sold
art,
better.
man. I remember just staring at that castle.
In the orb.
Yeah, in the orb. That was
The Japanese box art was all from what I've heard, because I've never seen it in person. I don't know if this is a re-release, but it's like all covered in like Amano's art, and then has the Final Fantasy logo with like the warrior holding the sword over his shoulder. It looked a lot nicer than ours. I guess is my point.
Yeah.
Ours looks like it was kind of like, I don't know, maybe airbrushed on the side of a van.
Is that the end credits from St. Elsewhere? Yep.
Yes, it is. Anybody want to take a stab at how much this game is new?
$400.
$400,
200.
$200. Drew,
628.
$628.
Yeah. So yeah.
Actually, $175.46. It is lower than I would have thought
Yeah, it's
as
a lot
well.
lower. Okay.
But on Amazon, it's probably $1 million. Is my guess.
Yep.
Probably.
I also have several more questions for you if you guys would like to play a little game called Weird Final Fantasy Syllable Replacement Quiz, which was sent in. Yes.
Don't tell us anymore.
I will not explain how this game is played. This is a quiz that is courtesy of Ross Rachel Green from the Nothing to Play podcast.
All right.
And he has a message for all you players, and it is this. Remember that he's British, so maybe I should try to do it in a British accent.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that. Remember that weird game where you replaced words in the game title Sonic the Hedgehog with other words, like such classics as Chronic the Hedgehog. Of course you do.
Okay.
So this is the same thing, but with Final Fantasy. These are all in the format Final blank to see or blank fantasy. And he's got it broken down into easy, medium, and hard questions.
Okay.
Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
This gelatinous dessert is a recurring enemy in these games.
Flan Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy.
There it is. Final Fantasy. All right. Good job, Drew. Next question.
Okay.
Next statement. I'm sorry. It's Dave style. He did it Dave style. This is a term used for your mother of your mother. Keep in mind that he's British. What would you call the mother of your mother if you lived in the magical land of Albion?
Your mum-in-law.
Final Gramtasy.
Final Grantasy.
Whoa.
Nailed it.
Is that? Oh,
Coming out hot.
Okay.
That was in the easy category, but because we're American, I would have put that. I think that's in the hard. Good job, Drew. Third statement. When your skin changes color because of exposure to UV rays.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Nice. Okay.
Good job, Josh.
Did he spell it with a U?
It was color.
Okay.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Figures. Yeah.
Okay, we're in the medium statements.
Got it.
This Asian country is the spiritual home of technology, giant fighting robots, and used underpants vending machines.
Final Japantasy.
Final Japantasy. Good job, Josh. All right. I hope you guys are keeping score because I'm not. Okay.
All of them so far.
Great. This. Oh, you think this is a team effort? It is not a team effort. I believe it is Drew
no.
2, Josh 2.
Yeah, and me 0. 'Cause I'm still like, Final Fantasy Japan.
All right. Number 5, probably. This loincloth wearing jungle man is most famous for his jungle call.
Final Tarzantasy.
Final Tarzantasy.
Yeah.
Tyler is on the board.
Yeah.
Good job.
I couldn't get my George of the Jungle out of my head. I was like, how does that work?
Final George of the Jungle.
Tarzan makes more sense.
Number 6. These plastic discs have recently started to regain popularity with audiophiles.
So
What?
a record.
These plastic discs have recently started.
Vinyl Fantasy.
Vinyl Fantasy, and it's tied.
Shit.
Ah.
Damn.
2-2-2.
Vinyl Fantasy.
Vinyl Fantasy. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
deep cut. I like it. Number 7. This word relates to an early stage of the evolutionary process.
Early stage evolutionary process.
I mean, if you believe in evolution, right?
If those pages in your books weren't glued together,
I would probably have this, yeah.
this word relates to an early stage in the evolutionary process. This is in the medium category. However, I would have put it in the very hard category. Would you like a hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we're looking for. The word is also used in a prehistoric fighting game.
Primal Fantasy?
Primal Fantasy.
Yeah.
Josh pulls ahead.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Good job, Josh. All right. Next question. This collection of bones runs from your skull to pelvis.
Spinal Fantasy.
Spinal Fantasy. Tyler's got it. All right. We got 2 more. Drew, you're still in this game.
Oh, God.
This is an agreement to purchase something with regular payments.
With regular payments.
This is an agreement to purchase something with regular payments.
Financial Fantasy?
Sorry.
No. Damn it.
Final Loan to See.
On the right track. This is super hard. Let me see if I can give you a hint. If you were to purchase something over time, you would make small payments, which would also be called something else. You can make
Final
it...
Transaction-y?
No.
Final leniency?
You would make these payments. Okay, if you didn't want to spend $600 on the Ginsu set, you could buy it through easy
Final installment
payments.
C. Final installment C.
Oh, so close, Drew. Judges?
Installment Fantasy?
Oh.
No.
Final payment C?
Drew, you're on the right track. If
Final installment C. Final payment C.
We give.
Final installment plan to see. Installment
so-
plan. Very, very
Yeah.
close.
It was a 2-word. The rest of them have been 1-word so far.
Drew, you can no longer win the game, but you can tie.
Okay.
So if you tie, we all win. Every one of
Okay.
us. Last question. This is another name for a large, furry ape man that lives in the cold.
Final Yetisy?
Final
Abominable Snowman. Final Abominable.
Final yet to see. Oh, snow abominable missy.
So abominable.
No, you guys are very, very, very close. Tyler was extremely close, like extremely close, like a cat's whisker away.
Abominable Snowmantasy.
Yes,
Damn
final
it. Yeah,
abominable
there-
snowmantasy. Tyler, I believe that you won that game.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rachel Green, for sending that in. I love quizzes.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Thank you, Ross.
Yeah.
I have one more question for everybody,
All right.
and that is the what we're here for. This is why we're here.
Is that how bad do you have to pee?
How large are your
Very,
penises?
very.
Yes. Would we like to take a break? Would we like to take a pee break?
No, we're
Okay.
good.
No, go.
Does this game belong in the NES Classic?
Unequivocally.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. I really enjoyed this game. I actually kind of regret not giving it its due when I tried to play it 2 times ago. I think it was a lot of fun. I do think it.
It's like Don Quixote. You have to play it as a child, a teen, and an adult to get the full.
Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, I'm just tilting at windmills. But yes, I think this was a very fun game with guidance. I think that's my caveat.
Yep.
I feel like very much like Castlevania 2. I loved it, but I wouldn't have loved it if I didn't have people helping me.
Yeah. I see that. Totally.
Yeah. I also have to give my shout out to Treasure Goblin Mike Lanham for my NES Classic.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's how I was able to play it.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So don't miss the next episode. I don't even know what that is.
Galaga is next.
Galaga.
Alphabetically.
Yep.
If you want to stick with that.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
After 36 hours, I bet you're easy for something like Galaga.
Yep.
Something easy
true.
like Galaga. Yeah. Yep.
Something not 36 hours.
Something not right,
like
exactly.
Galaga.
Something that I can. Spoilers. I like Galaga. I think that I won't have a problem playing it for 3 hours on a Twitch stream.
But probably not 9 hours.
But yes, yeah, I did do a marathon.
Not till 7 a.m.
Yeah. You remember that achievement that I came up with? How the Grimp stole Christmas? The Grimp stole my Thanksgiving. That's for goddamn sure.
Let's see. Hey, do you like this? You want to buy a shirt from TADPOG? You can go to Amazon, just type in TADPOG. There's a shirt on there.
It doesn't fucking work
buy it.
anymore. I discovered that
What?
today. The shirts are still on Amazon, but when you just type it in, Amazon search, it does not pop up. So
What the fuck?
I know that really sucks, and I don't know if it's because they changed how their merch system works.
Yeah.
What
If
are
they're-
you typing in?
TADPOG.
You have to type in like TADPOG shirt.
I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. I tried TADPOG album shirt. Still didn't pull up. So, if you want a TADPOG shirt, there'll be a link in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Man, that fucking
It
sucks.
sucks a lot. And I hope it's just a thing that gets worked out. Because when earlier today when I typed it in and it didn't show up, I was like, did they fucking remove our shirt? What's the deal? So I logged into our merch account, and no, it's still there and it's still purchasable. It just doesn't show up in the search result.
Ugh.
I know, it's a bummer.
Fucking Bezos.
Fucking Bezos.
Man.
You think he heard?
Fucking get over this beef, Bezos.
Do you think he heard the last episode?
Absolutely
Yeah.
he heard it. he and Elon Musk were just like fucking stewing together. Musk was like, they better not fucking... I've got that Tesla deal in the works with them. They better not fuck this up.
So what I'm thinking about doing is creating a link that just redirects to the shirt. I just didn't have time to do it today. It'll probably be like, I don't know, shirts.tadpog.com or something like
Yeah.
that.
Do you have any certain words in the description that could pull it up easily?
Gooter,
Rag.
probably, yeah. Cumrag.
Do you spell Gooter with a T or D?
Or
Depends on where you're
It's
from.
both. Yeah, it's a regional thing.
Yeah,
Well, T
Cranberry
doesn't work.
TADPOG
Gooter,
shirts.
nope. Though Gooter with a D did pull up a T-shirt. Funner, comma, more gooder than fun. Funniest T-shirt. $24.99.
So wait, let me see that. How their fucking T-shirt show up and ours didn't? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, because this is by like an actual store, Definition Tees. I think they just took all like the merch accounts
Yeah.
off of their main search. No merch search. I know. Bummer. We'll get it worked out. But in the meantime, there will be a link in the show notes at tadpog.com for this episode.
Hey, do you want to send us something for an intro? Tired of hearing stories? Rather hear us open and praise you for shit you send us that we probably will eat? You can send that to Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Send us all your condoms.
All of them. All your C words.
And more of these postcards. I haven't been able to take my eyes off of these cows fucking the whole time we've been recording.
Those are lesbian cows.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. I like my favorite is I know look no one sees this postcard, but I have to point out to you, Josh, personally, my favorite is the black cow entering on the right of the card with its tongue out. it's watching these
like,
two
yeah.
female cows just fuck, and it's like I'm gonna get in on
I'm
that.
gonna lick me some cud.
Hey, with the c words,
You're I'm gonna lick a cud tourist.
watch it. Hey, did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy this? If you did, and you feel like being generous, why not? Why not give us some money? If you chip in some money on Patreon, we got one of those things. If you chip in on Patreon, at least like $1 a month, you get access to like a whole bunch of like bonus shit that we've done and that we're continuing to do. We just actually recently recorded an all calls episode.
Yeah, we did, and I think it has some of my favorite tangents and rants we've ever produced.
It was a good episode. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It's X-rated. I'd say it's probably fair to say.
oh, God.
X-rated. Yeah. We can't show it in any theater, even one that Pee Wee Herman might be in.
Even when Paul Rubens up here. Which, yes, I know I'm wrong about Paul Rubens. I was corrected by Jacob later that day.
Right. He did not show his wiener to a kid.
Yep.
He just masturbated in a
Yeah,
porno theater.
like everyone does.
Yeah. So I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people who have donated recently on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com/tadpog. I'd like to thank Paul Clark for recently upping his donation. Actually, I'm sorry. Looks like it's a new donation. Paul, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the bonus episodes. I'd like to thank Master of Coin, Ryan Walters, for recently upping his donation significantly, more than doubling it. Ryan, dude, thank you so much. Also, I'd like to thank Andrew Bates for recently upping his pledge, also more than doubling his pledge. Thank you very much. And Jesse. I'd like to thank Jesse for a new donation, a sizable new donation. And I thought that was it, but there's one more. Joey Webster. Joey, thank you so much for upping your donation significantly. You are fucking awesome. Thank you so much, and I hope you're enjoying what we're doing.
We've got an Instagram. Like I always say every week, I need to do more with that, and I do occasionally. So you can find that at tadpog_podcast on Instagram. I haven't plugged the nation in a while.
Yeah, we got a Facebook page, Facebook group called Tadpog Nation, where we post a whole bunch of stuff that we don't want our grandmas to see.
Yeah, that's private.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about it. That's our pervert corner.
Yeah, it is.
So we've got because you got your main page that you like where we have episode announcements, and then we have all the fucked up shit in the Tadpog Nation.
That's true. So just do a Facebook search for Tadpog Nation, and there you go. You'll be good.
Josh, Drew, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm not going to speak
this
for
was
Drew.
great.
I don't know if you had a good time.
Oh
or not.
no, yeah, no, this is bullshit.
You've got a
Let's
thing.
start
you
it
do-
over.
You've got a thing you do sometimes, Drew.
It's been a while, but yeah, we have me and my wife. I got married.
Yeah,
That could have been my
congrats.
first story.
First
My
time we
wife.
get to do
Yeah,
that
I
one
get to
to
do
you.
that joke all the time now. Me and my wife Bailey, we host a bi-monthly podcast, tri-monthly. We don't record very often, but it's called Hops and Heroes, and we talk about beer and usually current video games. But yeah, it's just kind of a thing where we find two beers we've never tried before, and yeah, we drink them and then just talk about what we've been playing. And you can find that at hopsandheroes.podbean.com.
And I'll have a link to that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
So our theme song is Moves. Josh, who is that by?
Sycamore Drive. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I
Drew,
remember.
where can you find that?
In the show notes at tadpog.com.
Yeah,
All right.
I haven't done that shit in a while.
I know. It threw me. I was like, what are you doing?
It
And I was
threw
like,
me
oh.
when it popped into my head. Like, oh, I used to do that. How do you guys want to close this out?
As our favorite character
Ooh.
from Final Fantasy.
Okay. All right. I like it.
All right.
From Final Fantasy 1 or just the series?
Ooh. We better just do one.
Okay.
'cause it might get
I'm
too.
about to say, so we got 2 Hope and 2 Vanilles. That's what we're doing. That's the voices.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It wasn't like weirdly childly lusty. I'm sorry. Let me try again to do Vanille. Tropical Capricorn.
Man, that's pretty good.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Somebody got hard.
Uh huh. That was me.
Roy Moore.
My uncle. Oh wait, did you say Leroy Moore, the dead saxophonist of Dave Matthews Band? Can I tell you? Let me share something with you. As a guy who doesn't like really keep up with the news a whole lot, when I heard shit about Roy Moore, I was like, wait, what? That guy, he's been dead for a long time. I don't understand.
That guy from Dave Matthews Band couldn't go in a mall.
I don't understand.
He was banned from a YMCA.
Well, because he's a corpse. I don't understand.
All right, favorite Final Fantasy 1 character. So until next time, Capricorn.
Tally ho. Who are you?
I will knock you all down.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Jeff Garland.
Just a white mage. I'm just sexy.
Yeah, sexy white mage.
White mage.
That's a white wizard. It's all,
White
it's all
wizard.
buff and stuff. Yeah.
White
His
Weezer.
boobs are huge in the robe. He's a lusty white mage.
Drew, who are you?
Generic fighter.
All right. Okay. All right. We're all good. I think we're okay. I'm gonna set you, Drew. I'm gonna set you on top of the first Wheel of Time book in the center of the
Okay.
table.
Sounds good.
Got my Wheel of Time shirt on, so everything should be good.
All right.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna stop this recording and make sure that everything is okay.
And we're done. Thanks, guys.
Good episode.